Another day, another load. Today is the Sunday before Labor Day, and if everything goes good and the chopper doesn't die on me here, we're gonna start chopping corn tomorrow. For real this time, not just a couple loads here and there. I think back on Thursday or Friday I had some I chopped, tested, and it was coming back at about 73%. So I'm thinking in 2 days it should have came right down, and by golly, she should make feed. Labor Day, we're gonna chop some corn. Well, it's about 9:30. We are fueled up, greased up, oiled up. When we first kicked the chopper on this morning, it sheared all the pins, so I was a little nervous something was broke, but put new shear pins in, tightened down good. That worked, so I don't know. Those were the original ones, the ones that weren't in it from last year yet, so could have just loosened up. Not too worried about it yet. Yeah, it's a good day to chop some corn. I think I figured out what that big pop was, and as soon as I started, I noticed nothing was coming out of the spout, and then before I knew it, this trap door blew open and shot corn all over, and right here is packed full of corn silage. So I don't think our blower's turning. Either there's a shear pin on that, something that's broke, which I can't really remember, or it sheared a keyway or something. Worst case scenario, that shaft in that gearbox is broke, which is a worst case scenario. I'm waiting on some tools. I gotta see what I got in here yet. Get that open, see what's going on here. I'm no expert in chopping corn, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to go up there. Dang. I have chopped probably 4 loads of corn, just feeding cows, mixing in the old stuff with the new stuff in preparation for when it be really time to go. I shouldn't have any surprises, and I got a surprise. So instead of a nice simple shear pin or something on that blower for in the event it gets plugged, it'll shear a pin, they decided, why do that? Let's put a big slip clutch, basically, which is just a big friction disc, and the friction disc is not frictioning. And honestly, from what I can see so far, it almost looks like that disc does have the friction, but it's almost like the hub that it should be riding on is completely stripped out and just freewheeling. So we're gonna get in the shop. We're gonna see what this looks like. And of course, it's Labor Day, and we're not gonna be able to get parts today, or even call to see who has parts if we need to get them ordered. So, off to a great start. Well, headed back out. Same day, actually. No new parts needed. No new parts used, we'll say. New parts needed, that's debatable. There is a shaft that comes out of the gearbox, spline, that goes onto a hub, that and then goes to a friction disc, then to the blower paddles. That hub was spinning on the shaft, so either the splines on the shaft or the splines on the hub were gone. So instead of trying to take out a bunch of rounded off bolts, we just welded the hub to the shaft. It should work, because as long as that friction disc does what it should do, which it should do what it should do, and isn't completely seized up, fine. If I'm chopping and I notice that none's going through the blower, I have 0.2 seconds to shut it down before bad stuff happens. But it's only 11 o'clock, not even noon yet, and we're headed back to go get a dump wagon. We're gonna fire up again, see what happens. Fingers crossed. Well, first load went off without a hitch, thank God, and we are lined up and ready to dump. Come on, Johnny. He's learning. Bring her back. Bring it back. There you go. That should work. Perfect. God dang. First one. For real, I guess. Ain't the first load, but by golly, we're started now. Well, I think this is load number 10, 11, 12, something like that. I don't know where my truck is. Surprisingly, the old girl's holding together. The tractor's getting a little warm. But that's alright. Goes up and it comes down. I don't know what the correct operation for this is. When I stop, do I just leave it at high RPM to let it cool? Or do I idle it down? I do not know. But we are chopping. Getting quite the highway going here along the corn, so yeah. Honestly, I can't even think of a better way to spend a Labor Day, so that's a lie. I can think of a lot of better ways than doing this. My neck already hurts, and we're like 3 hours into the first day, so I saw my chiropractor right before I climbed onto this tractor, so everything was all loose up. I don't know if that was a good idea or not. What are you gonna do? And hopefully my truck gets here soon, because I'm getting sick of waiting. Well, everything was working, and then we made confetti. It blew it all over the ground. Hit that trap door and poof. Oh, if I'm a betting man. There's a shear pin that drives this cross back auger, and that didn't blow, but that chain let loose there. Now the question is, where's the chain? You know, of course that thing had to break right as I got done here and made a big loop around, so instead of it just breaking and being right there, I wasn't even chopping. And I made my first bonehead mistake, and I forgot to turn the head on for the first 5 feet. Whoops. I don't know where the heck that thing is. And it's just a little feller too. It's only like a 40. God darn it. That was almost an impossible chain to find. If I would have went forward another 5 feet, or 5 inches, we never would have saw it under the tire. Let's get her back on. Well, we're gonna end the day with a broken idler, unaligned mess. And I got a blown hose on a loader tractor. Not ideal. Not a very good day. But we got 6 loads of corn chopped. Well, a little tomfoolery. We got our chain back on. I'm gonna feed some cows and hopefully do some chopping after that. Well, I figured as long as I was just up in the shed and I don't have the dump wagon on, now would be a good time to top off fuel. I have probably not burned through 2 tanks in this tractor mowing hay all year. And I think we're about 20 loads in now and it burned through half a tank, so gets a little thirsty when you work her. You'll have that in these big jobs. Well, we made it just far enough, 20 feet, and I thought, oh my God, she's working, and then pop, she's no longer working. And now I got a new truck driver and he's inexperienced. That way, buddy. I did have a little bit left on this, so we're gonna get this dumped and unhook it back into the shop. Good news is I can actually get parts and stuff tomorrow, so never start chopping on a holiday. Same chain, different brake, Danny. What? That's to hold the head up. Well, for the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 100th, whatever, how many times it's been, we're going back to the field. And I swear to God, if it don't work this time, I'm probably just gonna fix it and do it. I would say something extreme, like I'm gonna roll it in a ditch, but I can't afford to buy a new one. So, run what you brung, right? Well, we made it from there to there without that chain breaking, so let's see what she does. So, it's working. At least I think. I don't know, this window's dirty, sun's shining in it. I can't see nothing back there. Oh well. I think it's working. God, it is. This is about the worst time to be chopping ever. But it's working, so we're gonna run it. If I had a time machine of all the things I do, one of which would definitely be go back in time and punch myself for every time I let my 6-rope planter get too close to the pass before it. That's a pain. This thing really notices when it's trying to take in 3 rows compared to 2. My dad always wanted to get a 3-row head for this. Granted, then we had a tractor which was 60 more horse. I don't think it's a horsepower issue, I think it's a chopper issue. But she's doing good. Going from 240 horse to 180. You're doing alright. I think we lost anywhere from half a mile an hour to a quarter of a mile an hour. It's all really. Granted, that's going off last year, which both the tractor and this chopper were starting to get really tired. And the chopper hasn't gotten any better. Well, I got my first plug of my chopping career. And of course my dad was here to witness it, so no better timing. Had almost a full load, so we'll dump him and get him on his merry way. So, I've been flashing my lights at these drivers whenever I'm starting to get a full load, so they know to drive on. Pretty sure this guy has been on his phone. He didn't see me the first 6 times. What are you doing? Jesus. Oh well, we got 2 trucks running, and if they would just figure out what they're doing here, we could really make them run. Doing good. God damn, we're doing like a whopping 3.6 miles an hour, but we are putting corn through the chopper. And that's corn through the chopper and in the bunk. That's what it's all about, right? And they're even kind of starting to figure out how to back in, so that's real handy. We are at about 10 to 9, and I think this is the 3rd time I've had this head plug up. I've noticed the dew's on the grass, so I'm wondering if this stuff ain't getting slippery or what's going on. This is quite impressive, this one. That's a lot bigger than the last one. Yep, that's a lot there. You know, honestly, it's not as bad as it looks. Granted, it's fairly bad. And grabbing this corn, I can tell you the dew is definitely on it. And I'm thinking maybe that's why we're having this trouble. Ow. Ow. These corn leaves are kind of sharp. God dang it, some of those are really stuck in there. I'm just hoping I got a gathering chain at the bottom of all this. Run one of those off. That's not a fun time. Wouldn't recommend it. We've had enough breakdowns for today. I'm debating about leaving this for tomorrow and just calling it a night at this. We'll see. I'm gonna pull some more, jump back in the tractor, see if it'll go again. So I pulled a bunch. Then I discovered I did shear the pin on the head. So I'm gonna dump what's in here. I hear a dump truck over there. And I think we're gonna call her a night, you know what I'm saying? Not bad, New Holland. It was a rocky start. Oh, it was a real easy start when we were chopping like 1 or 2 loads a day. And then we tried to do this for real and really shit the bed, but way down the night strong. That's probably me. And there rolls the last load. Kind of a little baby load. Probably got as much in the head, but yeah, not a bad first day. No, it was not a good first day either. I don't know. All things considered, it came out all right. For being Labor Day and no parts open, granted, I would have probably went and got new sprockets, a bunch of other stuff, but hey, we made do with what we had. Luckily, my cow milker turned truck driver, his dad is a professional welder, so when that little thing happened with the blower, he came over and welded that up. And then the sprockets, we robbed one off an old grain head for a combine we had, got that taken care of. And what else? That's about it, all things considered. We made some corn disappear. Not bad at all. No, that's about as pitch black gets. But there's a tractor and a chopper there. They done good. And of course, no one thought, hey, let's give the chopper guy a ride in. Nope. Kind of interested to see what our pile looks like. Betting that's gonna be a big one. Well, from what I can see of the tractor sticking out over the pile, should be some in there anyway. I'll be honest, I completely forgot or completely lost track of how many loads we put in there so far, so oops. These goddamn rookies. Actually, you know what? I'm not walking in. Take me home, sweet girl. Well, that's crap lighting, but pile, back wall. Yeah, maybe a quarter. Not bad. Not bad for spending half the day broke down, but what are you gonna do?